This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This morning, a tragic crash involving a car full of high school kids that also put a sheriff's deputy in the hospital.
It just brought my world down.
That's the cousin of one of the victims remembering his lost loved one.
And the Coast Guard in action. This crew choppered in to rescue two hikers from a cliff in Manzanita. How they got stranded in the first place.
Also this half hour, an opportunity for people living on the streets to get valuable job skills.
I was very depressed. So I think what the value of this program is, it gets people out.
We have more on this coming up here in 10 minutes.
And what gets you up early on a Thursday? Some coffee, right? We are live out at Symphony Coffee House on Cornell Road in Beaverton this morning. They're always up early, right? They're getting the coffee, the snacks, the sandwiches ready. What is she making?
She's adding some sort of
Is this an omelet?
No, that's a crepe, I bet.
Oh,
with some
strawberry sauce.
drizzle.
Oh,
Yum.
yeah. We're going to be checking in with Symphony Coffee House all morning. Got my taste buds going already.
You think our friend Eric Patterson behind the camera there ordered that drizzly
Possibly.
treat?
Yeah, he looks sweet.
Hey, happy Thursday,
Yeah.
everybody. Thanks for watching. I guess when folks head out to get their crepe and coffee, they won't need the hood. It's not raining for a change.
Is it really? Are you sure?
No, you told us that.
You told us that.
Well, you can't believe everything the man says. My point is, it's a bit surprising, right? There's no rain out there. We're at 46 degrees. We have mainly cloudy skies. Now, this will become a typical scattered shower day. So here's the bus stop, 44 out the door. Dry, I think, at least into 9 o'clock, and then we'll see scattered showers developing later this morning into the noon hour. And we'll spend much of the day in the mid-50s. I don't think it's a wild day, just here come more scattered showers. Back to you. All right, Rob, we do want to get to our top story this hour. It's a follow-up to yesterday morning's deadly crash in Beaverton that killed 2 teenagers and critically injured 4 other people, including a Washington County Sheriff's deputy.
The teenagers were students at Southridge High School, and Alma McCarty talked to one of their cousins who has a message for other young drivers.
Abel Navarro got word early Wednesday morning.
My uncle came in the room and he's like, hey, something happened to your cousin.
The news of a devastating car crash.
It just brought my world down. Like, I was like, no, my cousin, he was everything I had. He wasn't a cousin, he was more like a brother. He was just a gentle giant. He was just amazing.
First responders pronounced his cousin, 17-year-old Matthew Amaya, as well as 16-year-old Juan Pacheco Aguilera, dead on scene at this Beaverton intersection after midnight Wednesday. Both teens were students at Southridge High School. Investigators say the driver of this Nissan Altima ran a red light and hit a Washington County deputy's patrol car.
I wish I could at least, I wish I was there to tell him, it's like, hey, no, you shouldn't go out. You should just stay home. Because, you know, his mom was calling him and he never picked up.
3 other Southridge students who were also in the Nissan were taken to the hospital in critical condition, as was Deputy Michael Trotter.
Last night is a stark reminder of how dangerous police work can be.
Sheriff Pat Garrett gave an update Wednesday afternoon.
Deputy Trotter sustained life-threatening injuries and has a long road to recovery. We wholeheartedly appreciate the support expressed by our community for our staff and everyone directly impacted by this tragedy.
As the investigation into the crash continues, the pain persists.
You're not supposed to go before your parents. So that's hurting me, my dad, my uncle, that's hurting everybody.
Navarro's message as he mourns his cousin.
Drive careful, guys, especially all the youngsters. Slow it down. Speed kills.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
We have new information on that Camas High School JV baseball team, those players who were accused of racism during a game against Skyview High School recently. So Camas High investigated and said they were not able to confirm all of the allegations, but did find some players did engage in racist behavior. The school says JV team games will remain canceled and staff will work with students to figure out how to repair the harm done. A statement from Camas High's athletic athletic director reads, the student actions and the inaction of the athletes who witnessed these acts clearly illustrate that a problem exists in our team. We are deeply sorry this occurred and apologize for the harm our players caused to Skyview team members. School leaders did not say how or if the athletes would be disciplined.
Now to some of the other headlines that we're tracking for you this morning. 2 southbound lanes of I-5 remain closed after a crash Tuesday near Camas involving 2 semis and 3 cars. Crews are removing the last semi that tumbled down an embankment and into the Columbia River. The lanes were supposed to reopen around 5 o'clock this morning, but at last check, they are still closed. Lincoln City detectives have identified a man found dead on the beach earlier this month. He was 32-year-old Robert Leach. Beachcombers found him partially buried in the sand at the bottom of a cliff just south of Canyon Drive Park. Investigators say there is no foul play suspected, and they're waiting on toxicology results. Leach had no ID and was believed to be homeless. Forensics used fingerprints to figure out who he was and notify his family. And take a look at this video. It shows Coast Guard crews rescuing 2 hikers from a cliff in Manzanita. This happened Monday. They reportedly got stranded by the rising tide after they walked down to the beach from Neocani Mountain. The Coast Guard called in a helicopter to hoist them both to safety. The rescue, pretty quick, took less than an hour, and fortunately no one was hurt. And those are some of your Thursday morning headlines.
Vancouver is opening up its second organized homeless village this week. Some of the 40 residents who will get to stay there took a look inside the space yesterday. Each unit you see there has its own amenities and security for people's belongings. The village will be managed by the nonprofit Living Hope Church and will offer resources as the residents work to transition out of homelessness. We also have an update this morning on a Portland program called Community Volunteer Corps that aims to get people off the streets and also into full-time jobs.
Yeah, the program just restarted after the pandemic had stopped the work of volunteers. Community Volunteer Corps takes people who are living on the streets or struggling with addiction and teaches them the skills they need to find work. For 5 hours yesterday, volunteers cleared out the drainage at Joseph Woodhill Park. This type of manual labor teaches them how to work with others, how to follow directions, and good time management.
It's an opportunity to learn how to live life and recovery before having to involve work.
That's great. So right now the program is helping about 100 people. In the past 13 years, volunteers have put in more than 170,000 hours. Nearly 2,000 people have graduated.
The last couple of years have brought devastating wildfires to Oregon. Now the Department of Forestry is working to prevent a repeat of that destruction. Joe Ranieri shows us the progress the state is making.
Oregon is littered in green, from the beaches to the mountains and beyond. Of the 60 million acres of land, half of that is covered with trees and forest land.
I think treated a little bit over 35,000 acres of ground, of forests throughout the state.
Kyle Sullivan is with the Oregon Department of Forestry. He's the lead of the Federal Forest Restoration Program. That's a program that is helping to protect and conserve our forests.
It means, thinning the trees and removing some of the undergrowth to allow the remaining trees to be healthy and resistant to fire, insects, and disease.
Sullivan says the thinning of dense forests can really help when it comes to wildfires.
Over a century of fire suppression, so we've removed fire from these fire-dependent ecosystems. And so when you do that, you remove that disturbance event, you remove the ability to sort of clear out the smaller trees.
Well, the videos highlight the thinning and prescription burns and what they have accomplished since the program started in 2013. The Oregon Department of Forestry work also helps what's in and around these trees.
It's also in non-wildfire prone areas, restoring fish and wildlife habitat, providing for clean water and overall watershed restoration.
Sullivan admits there's more than just one department behind this project.
We have 30 million acres, which is a big number, 30 million acres. So half the state is forested. 60% of the 30 million acres is managed under federal jurisdiction, primarily the Forest Service and Bureau of Land Management.
It takes a team to be able to make sure all of this is protected. Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
Rod, we were talking earlier this week about how this rainy April could delay the start of this year's wildfire season.
Yeah, the story was pushing fire season back to June. They try to calendar these events based on what's going on, and it had been starting in May the last couple of years, and of course we remember last June's heat wave. So the April rain does have its benefits, and that's where we begin. So yesterday out at the airport, just 1/100th of an inch. It's kind of crazy. The airport's been the driest place around the last couple of days, so we're kind of stuck in 6th place on the all-time wet list, 4.55. To get up into 5th place, we just need 2/100ths of an inch today. But I have a futurecast coming up that's going to show you that Friday night alone, we could go from 4.55 and we could get pretty close when you wake up Saturday morning to 1st place on this list, 5.26 inches back in 1993. We are dry this morning, so how about that, right? Yeah, how about that? Here are the temperatures. 40 in Burns, 34 in Bend, 42 Kelso, Newport, 37 degrees out there for you right now. We do have mostly cloudy skies being reported across a good portion of our state. Here's 10 o'clock this morning, so a dry start. But Futurecast does start to bring in the scattered showers later this morning and then certainly going into the afternoon. Just kind of a typical scattered shower day, we'll call it. That means there could be some heavier showers dotting the landscape from time to time. Shower chance continues this evening. Snow level about 4,000 feet. Tomorrow during the day, dry. And then here we come. This is 4:30 in the afternoon. This shows dry weather up and down I-5, but raining late afternoon along the coast. And then look at the evening. Widespread soaking rain. Here we are at 9:30. This will break back into scattered showers by the time you wake up Saturday morning. All forecast models show at least a half of an inch of rain. This particular one goes 82/100ths. That would put us up into right around 1st place for the month of April. For the weekend, quickly, Saturday scattered stuff. Sunday now looks completely dry with rain not coming in until maybe the midnight hour going into Monday. Look at Tuesday, look at Wednesday. Let's do it one more time. Look at Tuesday, look at Wednesday. Are you guys done? It's nice to look at.
I want to keep looking at it. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, Rod, thank you. Coming up, a friendly soccer showdown at Providence Park last night. The Timbers and the Thorns mixed it up and combined their rosters, all to support Ukraine. We'll tell you how much money they raised from fans.